Welcome to Final Vortex, where we review all your favourite TV show and movie soundtracks. From Toss a Coin to Your Witcher to The Song of the White Wolf, this album has a runtime of 3 hours over the course of 55 songs. The vinyl itself only consists of 28 songs from the soundtrack, starring Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia, Anya as Yennefer, Freya Allen as Ciri, Joey as Dandelion. Oh, and of course you can't forget Roach, who's Geralt's noble steed. Joey also had an influence on a few of the songs, obviously the main one being Toss a Coin to Your Witcher, which went viral as soon as everyone heard it, which led to multiple different covers on YouTube, from pop to metal, my favourite of course being the metal. The album and series came out last year in 2019 and was composed by Sonia and Fiona. However, the vinyl wasn't actually released until earlier this year. The album and series came out last year in 2019 and was composed by Sonia and Fiona. However, the vinyl wasn't actually released until earlier this year. So obviously as soon as I knew it was out for pre-order, I had to get it instantly. Whether it's a dance scene, a fight scene, or just a generic montage scene, the music from the soundtrack always keeps you engaged and it just makes you want to, well for me personally, it makes me want to just go for a walk through the woods, just see all the different landscapes, or even just rewatch the series itself or go and revisit the games. So with the series itself, it took a lot of influence heavily from the books rather than the games. So the series itself goes between Ciri, Yennefer and Geralt a lot. Obviously Dandelion spends most of his time with Geralt. You don't know till later on that the timelines are all different. So with the scenes of Geralt, Yennefer and Dandelion, theirs is set in the past where Ciri's is set in the present, and then they intertwine towards the end. I think the way they done that was a lot better rather than doing one series as like explaining the backstory, and then season 2 was how Ciri's story began. I think it was a nice way to incorporate the two, which helped make the story flow a lot nicer. Geralt's basically known for being a witcher, which is a mutant who has enhanced powers to fight all kinds of monsters, whether they are actual creatures or humans alike, because he doesn't like to choose between one evil or another. He sees evil as evil and good as good. He's accompanied by Dandelion, who is his bard, who sings tales to him and writes songs about him and others when they go on the quests. And then you have Ciri, who is being hunted by the Nilfgaard army. And then you have Yennefer, who's taken away from her family, basically with no hesitation. Like her father just sells her instantly, and she gets taken away to become a sorceress. And she then transforms the way she looks to benefit herself and to also make herself stronger as well, which you see progress throughout the series. Even though rock and metal is like my favourite genre of music, if I'm not in the mindset to listen to that type of music, I'll always go towards a video game soundtrack or a TV show soundtrack, whether it's something such as The Witcher. I like to listen to a lot of instrumental music because it just puts your mind at rest, and you can just sort of like let your mind wander. One of my favourite scenes from the series is when Geralt gets back to town and he's looking for Renfrey, because that fight sequence is one continuous shot, and it really reminds me of the trailer for The Wild Hunt, where you see Geralt see 3 men harassing a woman and he's told to let it go, but he doesn't, and he just takes them out with one continuous shot, and it's just swift movements. And I think that type of footage is just really cool to look at, and it's just well done when they're filming it, because I'm a big fan of behind the scenes stuff, so I like to watch like how things are made and how it's done, and I find it really fascinating. Not only with stuff from like the actual series and films themselves, but when it comes to like making of albums, I like to see how they start off with a foundation, and then how it gets layered and layered until it reaches its final product. You can see on the cover you've got the 3 sigils, obviously for Yennefer, Ciri and Geralt. In the intro for the series, each episode has like a different symbol, and then obviously on the final episode they all merge together to create this one symbol in unison. what looks to be a landscape of the woods, and then the same symbol. It's white with a bit of the opacity turned down, so it's a bit more translucent, with then a solid black silhouette behind it. It definitely just keeps it close to the three main characters, and it's not too over the top with, say, like a full poster of a cast inside of like a ruin with a pile of skulls, and then you can see some fire coming through one of the tunnels. Obviously that could be a torch just hung up, or you never know, it could be something more fierce and horrific. And then you have the soundtrack, which covers 2 discs, and then again licensed by Sony Entertainment, Netflix. We also get another print with 3 skulls on it, and then on the opposite side, again, it's the same logo, but slightly different. It also tells you the soloist artists on the album. The discs themselves are black, again with the symbol located on the centre circle. Personally, I always lean towards getting the coloured vinyls just because I think they look more effective and draw you in, plus they're more limited as well. However, sometimes I think the black discs fit well with certain albums, depending on what the album may be. However, for this album, I thought it'd be quite cool if they went with a more stone effect, like a stone or with like a grey or a silver, to kind of match the way the logo looks. Or just make it white, because when you think of The Witcher, you mainly think of Geralt, who's known as the White Wolf. So I think a white disc would have looked just as nice. As it's just recently came out to my knowledge, there is only the black disc available. I'm not too sure if we have a coloured disc out as of yet. Also, let me know, if you collect vinyls, do you get the black discs or a coloured disc? What was your favourite song from the soundtrack? And just your overall thoughts of the series itself. Are you more of a fan of the show, the games, or the books? If you could also take the time to check out my Instagram page, the link's in the description. That's the only form of social media that I use, where I just release images and videos of the vinyls that I've purchased in order. So if you want to see me review one of those albums next, let me know in the comments below, or just comment on that album on my Instagram page and let me know that way, and I'll be sure to put a review up for it soon. Alright guys, remember to leave a like, enable notifications, and until next time, remember the Vortex is open.